stir. Is it ready completely? Okay, hi everybody. So I need to restart, right? Hi everybody. So today I'm making homemade pizza dough. I've got the following items out. I've got salt, rosemary, thyme, cumin, Italian, garlic, and onion powder. We also have a vegetable oil, a water, a yeast, and a flour, and a sugar. So I'm going to start off with 2 cups of water. You always want to do your wet ingredients first and then your dry ingredients second. And I'm doing 2 bread pans, 2 pizzas, so I'm using 2 machines. And the dough takes approximately an hour and a half to make in the machines. So now we've got our water in. Now I'm going to add in my brown sugar, and I'm not going to measure this, you guys. I'm just going to dump some brown sugar in. You can measure it if you really want to, but this is my own personal recipe, so. And yes, I do keep looking at Amber's phone, but I have my personal recipe on her phone. I use it as a reference because sometimes I forget what I'm doing. All right. Next, I'm going to add in the garlic powder because you're going to want this to be well seasoned. So you're just going to throw some seasoning in here in each pan. Throw some garlic. Throw some onion. And I like to season my dough because it gives the dough a better flavor when you start it. And that one won't hurt. That's all right. I'm going to throw in the cumin. I love to have seasoned stuff. It just tastes so much better. Here's your Italian. Gives it that aroma of being in an Italian restaurant. Of course, you want to have your salt. Now, I made a mistake one time and I forgot to add salt, and it did not taste very well. So, never forget to add salt. Then you've got your rosemary. A little bit of that in each one of these. And last but not least, you have your thyme. And I'm not talking about the thyme that's on your list either, because I have no idea what time it is. But I'm cooking with thyme. T-H-Y-M-E, not T-I-M-E. All right. Next, I'm going to add in a packet of yeast to each one of these. I do it the old-fashioned way. I just rip it open, dump it in. And the reason why you want to put the yeast in the water is because that is what's going to actually activate the yeast. You want this yeast to activate so that the pizza dough will rise in the oven and in the bread machine. All right. Next, I need to add in my oil. As you can see, I basically eyeball everything except for when it comes to flour. Now for the flour, I'm going to do 6 of these bad boys right here. And this is a flour cup. This is a goose. Hi. Actually, I'm going to take this down. I'm going to do 3 cups of flour per pan because this recipe was actually doubled, so I'm actually going to only do 3 cups of flour per pan. So it comes out to 6 cups total. The goose doesn't like to eat the flour, honey.
Bad goose.
Alright, now that that is in, now we're going to hit the start button.
This is so cute.
Now we're going to hit the start button, and these are going to start making. And you have to kind of watch these because sometimes you either have to add more flour or more water depending on how the bread does. But when it gets done, it's going to turn into a giant ball. Which I can already tell I'm going to need to add more flour to that one. You want the dough to actually form into a ball. You don't want it watery and you do not want it sticky. So when you're doing this, you can always, rule of thumb, you can always add water, you can always add flour. And you're not going to hurt it because that's just the way it is. It should turn into a giant ball here in just a little bit, and when it does, that means that you've got the right amount of liquid or the right amount of flour. Now, like I said, the dough takes an hour and a half. And then we've got hamburger and sausage, which I will be cooking, and I'm going to be mixing that together. And that's going to be part of our base for the pizza. But I'm also making homemade sauce as well, so you get to see the preparation that goes into that, which is going to be your tomatoes and all your seasoning and your garlic and your onion. I do everything. This is going to be pizza made 100% from scratch. The only thing that is store-bought is the meat and the veggies, but the sauce and stuff is not store-bought. It is all homemade. As you can see, it is starting to form a dough on this side, and you can see that it's really watery, so you're going to want to add more flour when it does this. So like I said, you do not want it watery or sticky, you want it to form into a ball. And sometimes if it looks like it's going to be really sticky, I'll add an extra packet of yeast. You want the pizza dough to rise. If you want a thick pizza dough, which we like thick pizza dough. And I'm using Costco flour. This is all-purpose, organic, unbleached flour. This is the good stuff. It's healthier than the bleached flour. As you can hear, they're starting to move around, they're starting to form. Still very wet, so we'll add some more flour. And it can take a lot of flour sometimes to get this exactly right, and that's okay. I'm just going to dump some flour in here. Whoa, okay, that's flour.
I'm going to have to add some liquid to that.
Well, we'll see.
It's shooting the flour everywhere.
There we go.
It's making a mess.
Dumped a little bit too much in there, but that's okay. Like I said, you can always add liquid, but you can see that it's still pretty sticky. So this will form into a nice ball here in just a minute. If you need to, you can always add a tiny little bit of water. But it doesn't really look like it needs it because it's still really sticky. The other side is actually forming the way it's supposed to. It's a little sticky still. So use a tiny little bit more flour on the other side. So add a little flour in there because we want these to turn into a giant ball. It's really sticky, so we'll add more to that one. There we go. And there you go. Now you can see this one here is turned into a ball. It's turning out just right. That one's still really wet on part of it. So we'll add a little more flour to that one. There we go. And there we go. Now we'll just let this go. We'll let these go, and in about an hour and a half, we'll show you how the dough looks. Thank you guys. We'll be right back. Hello everybody. Hope you all are doing well. So we are still making pizza. So now we're into the prep portion of it, which is the homemade sauce that I make. And like I said, I make my own sauce. And in making my own sauce, I use all fresh ingredients. I've got green tomatoes. I've got red tomatoes. I sliced up some bell pepper, so we have orange bell pepper and green bell pepper and fresh mushroom. And then we have fresh garlic and fresh onion. And we also have a ton of seasonings. Now I cheat, and this just makes the process a little easier for me. Everything goes inside this. No, you don't want the end. But it's all gonna go in here. And then it's going to go over here onto this machine. And I will add all my ingredients like this.
You have to add liquid to it?
No. We're not adding any liquid to it because the liquid will go in the pan.
Oh,
because the most of the liquid is going to be the tomato. You want that tomato base. And I always add, because it just tastes better when you make sauce, you always add a little bit of sugar. Now it's been a while since I made this, so bear with me. We're going to take this over here to my machine, put this on, and it will start blending it. Now I like a nice and thick sauce. I don't know who else does, but remember, this is going on the pizza. And then when it's done, we come over here. We turn the stove on. I like to use a medium heat. You don't want to go too hot. You're going to take the pan and you're going to put the sauce in the pan. And like I said, this is a homemade sauce. Oh my gosh, you should smell this. Wow.
Oh, smells amazing, guys.
Now this isn't your traditional pizza sauce because this is not made in a store. This is 100% my own recipe. And like I said, once again, I use all fresh ingredients. We're going to throw in some garlic powder or chili powder. We're going to throw in some rosemary. We're going to throw in some thyme. We're going to throw in some basil because, you know, what's pizza without basil, right? And yes, it has fresh onion in it. Always add onion powder. And when it doesn't come out like that, just take that off and go. We'll just do it this way. Bam!
Don't be afraid to season your food, guys.
Italian? That one's not open.
People are too afraid of seasoning.
Okay, so Italian. Throw that Italian in now. If you make a mess, you know what? It's all part of cooking, right? And of course, you gotta have pepper because, you know, what's pizza sauce without pepper, right? Throw some pepper in now. And we'll throw some oregano in here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I like a lot of herbs in my sauce because the sauce is going on top of the pizza dough.
That's weekend.
There's a little bit of cayenne pepper. And then I've got some of this stuff here, which this is celery seed. Celery seed is absolutely amazing. It will cook into this perfectly. Throw some celery seed in there. Of course, you got to do a couple bams of this. Bam, 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 just like that. So you have some salt. And like I said, same way with the garlic. Just throw some garlic in there. Now this stuff is amazing. What's the name of this?
Saffron.
This is saffron, and this, I know people will tell me I'm crazy. Trust me, it's going to give this an even better flavor. And lastly, I have cumin, and I'm using fresh cumin seed. Everything that we are using is all fresh ingredients. The tomatoes are straight from a garden. They are not from the store. The bell peppers are straight from a garden. They're not from a store. So everything that you see here is all freshly grown. And now we're going to mix this all
The tomatoes
together.
are from Michelle's dad's garden.
Yes.
He brought them for us.
And as you can see, it's going to kind of have a little bit of a different texture. It's not going to be that beet red texture that you see on most pizzas, you know, where it's all beet red. Because I added that green tomato in there, which gives it a little bit of the off flavor. But it gives it an amazing flavor. And you're going to want to just have this on low and just let it sit here and simmer. And while this is simmering, which I'm going to move it over to this one, we'll turn this down to 4 because you want that to get warm and thick. Now, I'm going to take my hefty bestie favorite frying pan, which I know some of you all probably think I'm crazy, but I absolutely love cast iron. And I'm going to have this thing on to the back on medium heat. We're going to take this hamburger and we're just going to drop it in here just like that. Bam! I'm going to make a mess everywhere because that's what I do. We're going to get this little doohickey sticky wicky thing here. This is Amber's favorite thing. This is her meat masher. Now I'm old school. I used to use only a spatula, but meat masher does come in handy. But I'm doing 2 kinds of meat at the same time for the pizza. I am going to do the hamburger and the sausage at the same exact time. Now the trick with the cast iron skillet is you're not supposed to wash it with soap and water. You're supposed to use it, wipe it out real fast, and then take and put more oil in it, reheat it, and keep it seasoned. The more you use it, the more seasoned that it gets. If you use a scour pad and soap and water, then you have to go through the process of re-seasoning it, which includes getting it nice and clean, putting it in the oven, baking it, taking it out, putting more oil on it, baking it again. I usually do it about 3 times and it comes into a non-stick pan. Unfortunately, I didn't have that luxury this time, so it might stick a little. I always wash my hands after touching meat with soap and water because it's important that you keep yourself sanitary. Sanitation is always important when it comes to cooking. You don't want to contaminate anything with raw meat. That's why I go directly in the pan and I don't touch it on any other surface. Alright, now we're just going to start working this up. The kids are in the bedroom hiding. They didn't want to help with this. I thought that they would actually come out and help with pizza, but I guess they didn't want to today. And that's okay. I'm not going to force them to do what they don't want to do, right? And you can say hi to Amber. Amber is the one filming this for you all today.
Hi guys.
So, this is just my homemade pizza. And as the meat starts to cook down, then I will add seasonings to the meat because everything gets seasoned. And we have some amazing toppings for the pizza tonight. We've got these fresh bell peppers. I got orange, I've got yellow, I think I've got green, I've got fresh mushrooms, fresh onion. And everything, like I said, everything's garden fresh. It's just gonna make one amazing pizza. And I think the kids, I don't know if they want an everything pizza or if they're just gonna have pepperoni and olive. So, but the sauce goes on both pizzas. Now, if you guys want to if Amber wants to walk you over there, she can show you guys how the dough is looking.
Here's the dough, guys. And I wish you guys can smell it. It smells so good. Doesn't that look amazing? You can see all the herbs in the dough. Let me show you the other one real quick. Isn't it beautiful, guys? So they still have a ways to go, as you can see on the time. This one has a little less time than the other one does. Don't know how that worked out, but that's all right.
I just threw some fresh oregano in here because we forgot the oregano. I do all fresh, and the oregano that we have is it literally looks like a weed. You can put that in with the meat.
Or the sauce.
Why do you want to add that to the sauce?
Is it a deep, richer flavor? That's what I put in my stroganoff sauce.
Yeah, but this isn't a stroganoff sauce. This is a homemade pizza sauce.
I've seen people put it in their spaghetti sauce.
No, it's not spaghetti sauce. This is a homemade
Same thing, it's tomato sauce.
Yeah, but I don't want to put wine in it. I know some people do, but it's already liquidy enough. You don't want to make it even more liquidy. You want it to thicken. And that's why it has to sit there and simmer for a while and cook. And the meat has to sit here and cook down. And once it starts cooking down to where I can mash it up and break it up, then I will take and I will add seasonings to it. Anyway, that being said, we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Alright, so we're going to continue on. Now I'm going to season the meat. And like I said, I love my seasonings, so we're going to do some...
Somewhat.
I'm going to put some cumin in here if I can get the container to work. I do not care for these little containers. There we go. Get some cumin going. This is straight cumin seeds, by the way. Then I'm going to throw in some garlic. Like I said, everything has to be seasoned. You don't want to make this not seasoned. I know that sausage is seasoned, but you know what? The hamburger is not. And the sausage that we're using is sage. This is fresh oregano. And as you can see, it looks like dirt. I promise you it's not. We're just going to go like that, little BAM technique right there.
Like my culinary arts instructor says, your food does not come seasoned.
Then you can also take and you can throw in some ground oregano, just a little bit of extra oregano there, why not? Then we'll throw in some black pepper because, you know, why not? Maybe we'll even throw in some thyme. Then I'm going to throw in my special ingredient for this, and that's this. This is mustard seed, sugar, paprika, garlic, chili powder, onion, celery seed, and chipotle pepper. This pretty much takes care of everything that you need all in one setting. No other ingredients added. We're just going to do a little dash of it like that. And that will be our seasoning for this because this takes care of everything else that we needed. Again, it's salt, mustard seed, granulated sugar, paprika, garlic, chili powder, onion, celery seed, and chipotle pepper. There's nothing else in this. It doesn't have any of that unwanted, unnecessary ingredients. And this is going to give this meat a really fantastic flavor for this pizza that we're making. And the fun thing is I get to roll this pizza out. We do have a rolling pin. And that's going to be the next fun thing. This section over here is going to get floured. I'm going to make a mess with flour today. And I'm just going to roll it out That way it's nice and done. And then we're gonna put it on a oiled or greased pizza pan so it doesn't stick. And we're gonna bake these pizzas at 425 degrees because you know what they say, love is at 425. That's what Papa Murphy's saying. Well, my pizza will kick Papa Murphy's ass. Just saying. Pardon my language. Big difference when you make a homemade pizza compared to going to a pizza place and getting it or anything like that. Most pizza places do not make their own homemade sauce. Most places do everything out of a can. And they do store-bought ingredients like store-bought veggies and stuff. We don't. We go and we get everything fresh from the garden here locally. We've been going to, we've got some Mexican friends we buy stuff from, and our neighbor, her dad grows homemade tomatoes, and then we got another friend who lives here who gave us the garlic out of her dad's garden. So everything is all farm fresh, and that you just can't beat that. You cannot beat farm fresh. I don't care what anybody says. You know, now if I was lucky enough to go back to looking at up in Enos Valley, which right now we don't have transportation, but if we did have the transportation to do it, I could be using homemade goat meat for this or homemade moose, and moose pizza is amazing. I'll have to do that one of these days if I ever get the opportunity to go back up though. She has her own garden, and she has her own animals, and that place is called Waterhawk Farm in Enos Valley. If anybody ever wants to come up and visit with her, her name is Lisa, and she's absolutely amazing. Anyway, we're just about done with the meat here. It's getting that nice golden brown texture. It's nice and cooked. And we're about ready to roll out the pizza dough, which is the next thing. And then after we roll out the pizza dough, then we're going to take and we're going to start forming our pizzas and putting the sauce and stuff on the pizza, which the sauce is looking really good. It's got this nice and thick, kind of watery texture. I'm probably going to have to add something to it to thicken it up just a little bit. You don't want watery sauce.
Let's look at the dough. So the dough has gotten huge, guys. Check this out. Look how big that is. And then here's this dough here. I can open this thing with one hand here. Sorry, guys. Check it out. Look how much is risen. Right now it's rising. That's why the machines are not going. They're on. It's just rising. It rises in the machine. The machine does everything. Pretty nice little machines we got. Believe it or not, these were not brand new. These are from thrift stores. Believe it or not. And they work amazing. Okay, so Jack's working on the sauce. Honey, you want to tell him what's going on now?
I'm just thickening. Excuse me. Thickening the sauce up a little bit because we don't want it super runny to go on top of the pizza, because I know nobody wants a runny pizza sauce.
No, I don't.
But if you could just smell this, you would be in seventh heaven.
How to get up on the stool?
In fact, I have a little taste tester right here, and she's going to taste it and tell me what she thinks. Amber has never had my homemade pizza sauce, ever. So this is a first for her. This is something I usually make once a year.
Okay, I try this.
Alright, so she's trying the sauce. We'll see what she thinks.
That's good. That's really good, guys. Really good flavor. It's sweet, but it has a little spice to it. I like that.
Was it too spicy?
It might be a little bit for the kids, but for me it's perfect. I like spice.
Well, they're gonna have other stuff go on top of the pizza, so they're not gonna notice the sauce that much. The pizza's gonna be enjoyed in other stuff besides just that.
It's really good though. Lots of flavor. You definitely can taste all the fresh veggies. It's really yummy. Wow, that is good.
I had a little.
That is perfect, delicious.
Actually, I had a little bit too much cayenne pepper, but that's okay.
It's still really good.
All right, now
It's
the
not
meat.
super spicy.
Now the meat is done. You guys want to take a look? I'll show you. There's no good. The meat is completely done. It's got this golden brown, delicious coloring. And if you notice, there's hardly any juices in the meat, which is awesome. We get the extra lean beef, and we use Jimmy Dean sage sausage. So give me just a minute, and I will be back, and I'll show you guys how I do the dough. All right, so now we've got our pizza dough, and I'm gonna roll it out like pizza, the best that I can. I kind of have a small. Unfortunately, they don't give you much room in these apartment complexes, so I have a kind of a small area to work with. But we're just gonna roll out the pizza dough best that I can here. And as you can see, it's already almost the size that I need. Measure it. And there we go. Unfortunately, I can't use the kitchen table because the bread machine's on the table, and so is the computer for doing YouTube. So I'm gonna put this back here. See if I can get this side on. This is the hard part. That's getting the dough on the pan. And I always roll my dough up on the sides anyway, because it gives it that authentic pizza that you want with the dough. So when you cut it, you actually get the slices of pizza, and it will be incredibly tasty when it goes on. And now this pizza dough is ready. And now we're gonna set this aside. And now it's time to do the next one. And you're gonna do it the same way. It's gonna come out, shake it. And like I said, it's okay if it's a little bit doughy on the bottom, because the flour down here will eat up any of that extra bit of dough. We're just gonna get it worked out here. This one here is a smaller pizza, and this one here is going to be the kids' pizza. And that's about right there. This dough is so easy to make. Peel it up, pick it up, and drop it in the pan. Roll those. Sometimes you can take the extra dough and you can, if you wanted to, you can make yourself a stuffed pizza. If you want to make yourself a stuffed pizza, you could do that. I'm not doing that this time, but sometimes I do. But this is 100% homemade pizza. It's gonna be thick on one end and not as thick on the other ends, and that's okay. Alright. And we'll be back in just, actually, I can start doing it now. Now, I'm gonna take a minute and start putting on the sauce. Now the sauce, if you will actually notice, it actually thickened up. Isn't that nice? It just thickened up to a really nice, thick pizza sauce. Remember what I told you, the longer you let it simmer, I usually let my pizza sauce simmer for about 10 to 25 minutes. And you get this nice and thick pizza sauce. You can see those pieces of garlic in there, and those pieces of garlic are just going to taste absolutely amazing on the pizza. And I'm just going to kind of spread it out. I don't have any special technique of doing it. You just want it to be covered in sauce. And I got to make sure there's enough for both pizzas. Alright. And then next, I'm going to add in some meat. I just like to pile this on this because, you know, it's pizza. You know, you can't have too much of a good thing, right? Just gotta be sure there's enough for both pizzas, which there's plenty. And if anything falls on the floor, I got a dog that'll lick it up. She's like a vacuum cleaner.
She's right next to you, sniffing the air.
She's down here at my feet. Like, do I get a bite, Dad? She's my little helper. She's a good little dog. Actually, to be honest with you, she's the best dog I've ever had. For granted, I loved the last dog that we had, Coffee, but her barking and stuff was so irritating, we had to give her up, unfortunately. Just ear-piercing, it was just too much. She made sure I cry. Alright, give me just a little bit and we'll get the rest of the toppings on. I'll be right back. Alright, so next we're going to add in our veggies onto the pizza. The oven is preheated and ready to go. So I'm going to take and add in, my heel keeps getting in my face, sorry guys. Add in some green bell pepper, some yellow bell pepper, some orange bell pepper. And it doesn't have to be any specific design, just, you know, make it to where the pizza's covered in pepper. You know, a colorful pizza is a lot of fun.
Eat the rainbow, guys. Eat the rainbow.
Doing some red here. Let's do that one in for the kiddos. And the rest of these peppers are going to go on all pizza. There we go.
We love our veggies.
And next, I'm going to throw on some mushrooms.
Look at the colors, it's so pretty. Smells good too. I wish you guys can smell it in here. It smells good.
And next, I'm going to do what everybody's not expecting me to do. I'm going to take this package of cheese.
We got a couple different types of cheese, guys.
Now well, I'm not ready to do the cheese on top yet, but we're going to put this here on top of the veggies.
What kind of cheese? What kind of cheese is this?
This is Marley, Jack, and Colby. We're going to throw this down. Because I don't know about you guys, but I like my pizza cheesy. A cheesy pizza is a good pizza, right?
Me too.
We have some different kinds of cheeses to throw in, but we're going to do this one first. And then next, we're going to do the pepperoni. Like I said, this is a stuffed, not stuffed, but this is a, if you were to go to a pizza place, this would probably cost you about 50 bucks. No joke, because this thing is piled high. It's probably going to weigh about between 5 and 10 pounds when it gets done.
Hi, cappuccino.
Add the pepperoni on here. We want the whole thing to be covered in pepperoni.
Cappuccino. Oh, cappuccino. Say hi. Say hi, cappuccino. Say hi.
Okay. Put on my pizza seal. And keep this going. Add in a couple more pieces of pepperoni here, because, you know, the kids love the pepperoni. Oh, they didn't get me out the olives.
I don't know what the olives are.
gotta clip them. Didn't we buy spice olives?
I don't remember. I think so.
Alright,
They're in the
next
pantry.
I'm gonna add on some mozzarella. Like I said, the cheesier the better, right? So we add on some mozzarella cheese. Just kind of throw it on here. Maybe we'll just go a little bam, 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 like that. Yeah, how you like that, huh? Then we're gonna take this.
Don't forget the Italian cheese.
That's going on after I put in the onion.
Yeah. So we got some green onion, guys. Otherwise known as scallions. They're the same thing.
I use these trusty, dusty little things right here when I just kind of cut the onion on top of the pizza and just let it kind of fall. These are the best kind of onions to throw on a pizza, right?
So red onion. I like red onion on pizza, especially chicken pizza. It's really good.
Homemade chicken pizza. That's so fun to make. I might do that for you guys one of these days with the kiddos.
With my homemade white garlic sauce that I make.
Okay, now that we've got the green onion on here, kind of spread it out a little bit, make it look even better. You can see those colors kind of shining through. Now, we're going to add in the next flavor of cheese. And this is Italian cheese. And this is going to go right on top. Like I said, a cheesy pizza is a good pizza, right?
It's a happy pizza.
So throw on that. Then we throw on the last kind of cheese after I add some more pepperoni to it. Like I said, I like to make the pizzas big. Don't I, honey?
Yes, bigger is better.
The bigger, the more filling, the better. And it all just kind of goes
Rudy's
together.
belly's full.
You know, I'm not skimpy on toppings. I pile these babies up. Throw some more pepperoni on here. Doesn't that just look beautiful, honey?
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous, and it smells really good.
All right. Small little handful of this. So it's going to layer this on top, like that. Just kind of spread that around.
I'm gonna do the second pizza.
A little bit more. And there we go. Then we top it off with cheddar cheese. You can see the meat just kind of steaming now. And there we go. Now this is a homemade pizza, Jack style pizza. And that one now is ready for the oven. So I'll pop the oven open. This one can go on the top shelf. Maybe. Nope. Yeah, fix that. Can go right there for now. Alright. And I will be right back, guys. Alright. Now we're doing the next pizza. Get the sauce going. Hopefully I left enough sauce for us.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, I can make it work. There's enough sauce, so let's throw that in the pan.
Put a ton of sauce on the kids'.
Don't put a ton of sauce on the kids'. Evened it out so we all got the same amount of sauce. You don't want it buried in sauce, you want to be able to taste the sauce. You don't want it super saucy because you don't want to have your crust soggy. Doesn't that look about perfect right though? Look at that. Rub that all on now, but I'm not done yet. Now I'm gonna do the baker's trick, and that's getting all the sauce out. I never want to waste sauce, right? So you get all the sauce out of here and you just kind of use this thing here, get all your spots. Make sure it all gets covered in this delicious sauce. And if you want to go a little on the outside of the pan, or the outside of the pizza, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that. As you can see, the pizza has risen nicely. There we go. Nice and saucy. And we're going to do the same thing again. This time I'm going to bring the can this over because I just want to get this hamburger on here. So kind of layer this in. Now this one here is a bigger pizza than the other one. This would be what you consider a family size pizza like you get at Papa Murphy's. It's about the same size, but tastes better because this is all fresh ingredients. And I know they advertise on the pizza thing, and I'm not putting them down because I love Papa Murphy's pizza, that they use all fresh ingredients. Well, you can't get any fresher than straight from a garden. Amen. You know, I wonder if Jesus was alive, if he would eat this. I'll have to save the rest of that for the next thing. And I'm going to do all pizza. I do every pizza different, so I'm going to layer this in here with some cheese on top of that. Because we want to layer this baby. Like I said, we're not skimpy when it comes to cheese. We like it cheesy. The cheesier the better, right, honey?
Yes.
So this is Monterey Jack and Colby. We're going to put on top of this. Now, do you want your pepperoni on next, or do you want your veggies on next? What would you like, honey?
Pepperoni.
Okay. There we go. Nice and cheesed out, though. That package is empty. Next, we're going to add on the next layer of meat.
Then black olives.
Huh?
Then the olives.
Okay. Lay on some pepperoni here. Now I'm doing each pizza differently. I never make the same kind of pizza twice. Even my dough, I always change up the ingredients on my pizza dough just because I don't like tasting the same thing every single time. I like to change it up. You know, it's my own personal recipe. It's not off the internet. It's not anywhere. This is my own personal recipe for pizza. And it's my own recipe for the sauce. I did not get the recipe offline or anything for the sauce. I've been making the sauce for a long time. And sometimes I switch it up too. But I just find that I love, when I can get them, I love to have green tomatoes in my sauce. Just gives it more of a tang. I'm just kind of layering the pepperoni here. That one's got like 3 pieces of pepperoni though. Somebody will enjoy that piece. I'm not going to take it off and redo it. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to throw a couple of these on the end though. There we go. Nice and pepperoni. And then I'll add on some Italian blend cheese. About like that. Just kind of shake it on now. Bam!
Olives.
And Amber says next throw on the olives, so we'll just throw the olives on here. All these olives go on this pizza because the other pizza I had to take out and put olives on. We'll show it to you when it gets done. It is looking amazing in now. Try to split them out a little bit so they're not all in one location. And these are the black pearl olives. Supposedly they're extra large, but these are the smallest extra large olives I've ever seen. They're tiny. Just around here a little bit. There we go. Okay, next I'm going to do bell peppers. And I can just kind of layer these on here. It doesn't matter how I do it. It doesn't have to be in any specific order because all the bell pepper oil that I have left is going on this single pizza, right, honey? So we're just going to layer this. Yeah, we might not use all these peppers. There's a lot of peppers here. Okay. That is peppered up there. Of course, I am layering this pizza, so next we'll do
Mushrooms? Oh, cheese.
What did you say?
I said mushrooms, but you are going to cheese it up.
I'm going to put some cheese on it. This is mozzarella. Like I said, cheese it up. Throw some cheese on here. And throw it around a little bit. There we go. Throw that little butthole over there. Then I'll take these delicious mushrooms. Some people don't like mushrooms. I know I love mushrooms on my pizza. That one's a little bit big. I'm going to cut that one down. I'm just going to slice it here. You guys can see how I do it. I just kind of take the knife and kind of slice it like that. And just kind of go like this. I get the whole mushrooms. I don't get the sliced mushrooms when I do pizza because I find that you get more mushroom out of a whole mushroom than you do when you buy them sliced at the store. People don't seem to realize that. They're like, oh, well, they're sliced. I'll just buy them. But actually, it's cheaper to buy a whole mushroom because you get more mushroom that way. And this one needs to be sliced down a little bit thinner. So, take and go like that. Like that. Boom. See that? Nice and thin. I can put a piece of it there, piece of it there, piece of it there, piece over here, piece over there. Okay. And we'll take some cheddar cheese. I'm not done yet, guys. This pizza's getting its love here. There's some cheddar, throw on top of that. Doesn't that just look good? Doesn't it just make your mouth water and say, ooh la la? So the cheese on now. I'm going to take this little bit of meat that's left. I'm just going to kind of throw it on here. No specific order. I'm just kind of throw it in. Where it lands is where it lands. I kind of spread out a little bit so that all over the pizza gets it. Kind of makes a extremely deep pizza. And the more meat you have, the better, right, hon?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And then take the rest of these. That thumb on here. As you can see, this pizza is layered with layers and layers and layers of goodness. And you know, why not eat the rainbow, right? Give yourself some color. A lot of orange. Throw some yellow in here. Get these orange ones out. Then the red ones, so we'll get some color going in now. Let's kind of throw some color on. And to see this pizza coming together. It just looks so good. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my trusty, dusty scissors here. We're going to cut the onion on top. Just get it all over the pizza. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this here, which is Italian seasoning. We're going to go on top of the pizza with it, like that. Get a little more of a green look. Then I'm going to take it and throw on some more cheddar like this. Kind of spin it around a little bit. Throw a little more on the cheddar on here, but I'm not done cheesing it up. Next, throw on my last roll of pepperoni. Because if you remember, I only put pepperoni down once, and I do twice, because I like to meat this thing up and give it a good flavoring here. So I throw some more pepperonis on here. Keep it going. Try not to put them on top of each other. No need for that. There's plenty of pepperoni to go around. And the next thing I'm going to put on it will be cheese, and that will be the end of it. And this is the adult pizza. The other one's for the kids. This one's for us. Throw that on now. There we go. It's nice and pepperoni. Next, we'll throw in the Italian cheese. Mix it around on here. Italian cheese is good. Italian cheese is is mozzarella, Asiago, Parmesan, Pomegranate, and Fontana kind of cheese. But even though that has mozzarella in it, you just can't have enough mozzarella. So we throw on some more mozz. There we go, mozzarella. Now, if you're allergic to dairy, you probably would not be able to eat this pizza. So hopefully everybody who eats this has a high tolerance to dairy. And I'll throw in a little bit more cheddar. This is sharp cheddar, by the way, guys. This is not medium or mild. This is sharp cheddar. I'm just going to kind of layer that on top, just to make it even better. And there we go. This one is ready for the oven. So now, I'm going to take my trusty glove here. It looks like I made a mess with the other pizza on the stove. Haha. That's funny. Take this. And that's going to go right here on top. And if you want to see, this is how the other one is looking. If you want to take a look at it real quick. This is how the other pizza is looking. Hopefully that looks amazing. Tastes as good as it looks. Still doughy. And there you go. And we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes when the pizza is baked and you can see the finale. Coming in. Alright, so this is the finished product of the kids' pizza.
Can I touch it?
Huh?
Look at that crust.
Say hi, Michelle.
Oh, hi. Hi, Michelle.
Michelle's impressed with the crust, guys.
With the beautiful pizza.
There's the kids' pizza.
And ours will be in about 15 minutes. We'll be back.
What's it?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished product of my homemade pizza.
There's Michelle.
That's got bell peppers on it.
So does that one.
Wow, look at that. That one's pretty. Look at all the cheese. That's fabulous.
That is Jack's homemade pizza. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Jesus' blessings. Take care of yourself. Remember, you are enough.